Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to episode number 59 of the Paris 13 Atletico save, better than PSG, or the non-league to legend, the French edition, whichever way you refer to it. Since we last met, we've played a number of games in the league, in the Europa League, apologies, and we have been knocked out of the cup. We will recap that. Side note, we're in season 7. I'm yet to make it to the semi-final of the cup. Usually by now I've already won a competition twice. You know, the domestic cup. Usually it's the easiest thing to do in France or in most other competitions. We're struggling. We are struggling because we keep getting the big teams early. Anyhow, without further ado, today we have got in the Europa League, we've got a Fenerbahce side that is not particularly doing particularly well. As you can see, there they are in 24th. And then we got Arsenal who are top. And we do not have full-strength sides for this because the African Cup of Nations is about. So we are missing some players. We are going to recap with the form. Since we last met, we have played a number of games. We got through the mid-season break as well. We played Feyenoord and Getafe. Won against Getafe, lost to Feyenoord. We then played Genk. We won 2-1 in a game that we were the better side in, but we failed to put away chances. We then pumped Nords 3-0 away from home. Even with 10 men, we scored a third. Also in the league, we are yet to lose since PSG in the league. That is correct. We are yet to lose since PSG in the league. Fortunately for ourselves, we drew an amateur side in the 9th round. And in the 10th round, where there is a million amateur sides, we found AS Monaco. And it was second versus third in the league, and Monaco pumped us. And we were lucky it finished 4-2. So with that being said, it's not been a particularly good time domestically. Oh, well, it's been a great time, but, you know, yet again, can't do much. I've accepted this bid here from Bournemouth for Dieng. He's been complaining about first 10 minutes. Can't give it to him with the centre-backs we've got. At 20, the growth seems like it's going to particularly stop. 1 mil there. Just finding that we're not getting enough growth. We're getting some growth, but not enough growth on our players. That I'm actually starting to think that I might go down and target some older players for the key positions later down the track in the save, because we're not just getting as much growth. With that being said as well, we've been rejecting bids, as you can see, left, right, and centre. On top of that as well, we have made 2 signings. We are going to show you both those signings right now. Diop's been in the pipeline for a while. You know, we signed him when he was 16/turning 17. Been waiting for him to turn 18, like we did with Dosu, like we did with a number of the other Senegalese guys like Ndiaga Cisse, etc. Dieng, who we just sold. Yeah, we picked him up on the dirt cheap. He looks, for 17k, an absolute bargain. Training him to play the advanced playmaker role in the hole. He's 18. Apart from his physical, he's mentally very switched on. Technically, got good passing ability. Very, very, very capable backup to Mel Belai. And then this guy comes in our transfer list, and we're gonna sign him when he joins in a little bit's time. And that's Martin Salama. And Martin Salama, if you have a look at him there, attacking midfielder, Czech international, on a free, leaving a Telpek worth 4.6 to 9 mil. He's gonna join a League One side. That's his value with him only having 6 months left on his deal in the Czech Republic. He's going to be worth a ton. He's someone that Mel Belai is going to be in a competition with, but is someone that isn't probably going to play too much. He's someone that he's too good to pass up. No one else was interested. You get him in, play him for a couple of years. He gets upset. You sell him for 15 mil. You're happy. And I think that's kind of what we're doing here. But there's also a way where he does develop as well, which is great. And then we signed Yuri. Yuri came in a scout. Was Palreiras' hot prospect. Isn't anymore because we've picked him up. Now it's Claudio at 21, who's not that great. But, you know, under 21, you know, I believe he's in the under 20 squad or under 21 squad, but yet to have played for them is where I found him. 550k transfer listed. 17 years of age, 15 determination, fairly well-rounded Brazilian. Need I say more? And then lastly, we've made one more signing that's officially joined us. Because we're selling Dieng, we needed another centre-back. And the main reason we sold him is we found a Basari Diallo, German international, or German not international, but a German of nationality. 5'11" with 15 jumping reach, now 14. Of course, it's gone down and they're going to bring it on there. And yeah, determination, heading ability, natural tackler, very well-rounded. If he develops, he's going to be better than Dieng, and he has the potential to be quite the centre-back. So there's all your new signings there as well. Without further ado, we got Fenerbahce. Now, we do have international duty, so Dieng is out with international duty Dossu's out international duty and Long Yellow's out of international duty, which means we're in a little bit of strife with the side, but not too much. Papa Dieng, well, still our hot prospect. Yet again, all I keep seeing is downward arrows, even if you're playing youngsters regularly and they're 18 or older, they usually develop. This year on FM, every time you play youngsters, they seem to degrade. It makes no sense. Unfortunately, a few of these guys cannot be part of the squad. Vinicius coming back into the lineup, who has been suspended, I think. I'm going to get him in there as well. But yeah, that's going to be your team. Bakayoko is going to be on the right-hand side with Melba Lyon, Collie, Dieng start, Wencher Ford, Billing, Vinicius, Van Housen, Tossen, Manoz, Schindler. Do note that Michele has been scoring goals, but yet again, playing this guy off the bench and he's in good form. You know, look at that for a run of goals. Apparently means, we do not compute. That means good form equals good growth. It's getting annoying now that you scout and you spend so much time scouting, but realistically, no one is, developing, which makes no sense. Now, a win here tonight would probably more than likely see us get that bye into the round of 16, which is exactly what we would like. If you told me that at the start of this year that would be the case, I would have probably said we would be close, like we were in the Conference League last year, but we missed out just. Hopefully we can go here, beat Fenerbahce, and then have a free hit against Arsenal, which would be an absolute stellar game. Great ball outside of the boot, a great idea, but just didn't find its way. Fenerbahce ain't going to have a decent side. Like, Shokoza in net is a very good keeper. Anyway, Billing, Bakayoko needs some help here. Goes himself because he's Bakayoko and then loses out. And long ball, which Zeno will win, who's been fantastic since we signed him this time last year. Wencher Ford, Dieng, learning this new role. Manoz has been better than Long Yellow. Good ball in there, but not going to find anyone. Vinicius at right back. Wencher Ford's had a number of assists of late. We move it around again, showing that good possession-based football. Bakayoko, ball, Collie, finishes. Looked offside, to be fair. Feel like he went half a yard early. Don't think that one's going to count, unfortunately. Unless he timed this to perfection. I think he's just offside. And there is the offside flag. Still 0-0, 10 minutes played. Good ball. Like, a great idea. Oh, I tell you what. Their left back nearly kept him on. That was close. Free kick. Now, this would be against the run of the first 12 minutes that they scored from here. But Enes Unal from a deeper range. And Schindler doesn't just save it. He holds onto it as well. Great save from the keeper. And look, at times he makes you want to pull your hair out. Like when he goes long here when he doesn't need to. But at times he's very, very good. Melba Lyon and Collie do enough between themselves to make it, that's not been a very good highlight. That probably sums up the match engine still. There's still things in the match that need to be fixed because that's had about 4 different deflections and gone in. And apparently that's the goalkeeper's fault, according to the game, which it's not. They've blamed the goalkeeper for coming out, which he kind of needs to narrow the angle. Like, as a goalkeeper coach, I think he does everything right. He comes out, makes himself big. He's just unlucky it goes under him. Yeah, the game blamed the keeper there, which I think that's a bit harsh. Anyway, 20 minutes played, we lead 1-0. Zeno, Wencher Ford, Billing, Bakayoko, great ball, great touch. Look at him drive inside. He loves this. Have a dig, my boy. Steady look from Manoz, hits the post. It deserved a goal, and it comes out, and it should have been 2-0. Bakayoko, unselfish. He's just a different level of gravy. He's worth that 9-10 million that we spent for sure. He's definitely worth the millions that we spent. We'll note that we haven't lost in a long while in the league. I am going to be rotating against Montpellier, even though that, as it stands, that game might be a dead rubber against Arsenal. I want to see how we go against Arsenal at the Emirates. Terms of changes, might bring Chavis in because he hasn't played many minutes here. There we go. And with the game being 1-0 up, nah, it's not up enough. I was going to say, when Indoors complaining about first 10 minutes, I was thinking about bringing him in. Feel like we want to make the one change. There we go. With a booking, I don't want Tossen to be out for that Arsenal game with a red card. So Just take him off. Dieng drives inside. Wenja forward picks that one up. Poor ball. But Vinny in the right area. Good touch. Wenja forward. Poor again. Very noticeable when we do not have Dosu out on the left because no passes connect on that side. Crespo, great ball. That's a goal. 1-1, just like that. Peg back by Fenerbahce at 24th. Not good. Not good. One all. Madonna mia. Dominated the game and now that. Highlight straight away as well. We do not want a sweaty tie here. It's 9:30. I'm on bugger all sleep. I kind of want to get to bed, but we're now getting a very sweaty game here against Fenerbahce. Realistically, we should pump him. Manoz drives. Wenja forward. Good looking idea. Bakio heads down nicely. Continued his run perfectly. Vinicius offside. Don't get excited. Bakioko's off. Or apparently not, and it's 2-1. We should get excited. Fair enough. Foil up. Vinicius waited too long to play it. Thought he was off. This will give us a bit of a better understanding. He's starting to look like he's offside. Oh, no, they're back on the 18-yard box. Anyway, good header. 2-1 up, just like that. Bakayoko having a great game. Can't take him off now because I know I've got a game against Montpellier that I'd love to rotate for, but can't really do much. Lonzo's going to come in for Wenja Ford. He's had a stinker. Papa Diang's going to move into there. I'm going to move Collie out there. I'm actually going to move Indoor up front for now to give him some minutes and then move McKaylee on soon. Shinola bumps one to no one in particular. Bakioko's going to do everything he can. He gets there first. He is man possessed at the minute. Penalty? I'm not sure what the penalty would be for. Given. Collie steps up, slots. 3-1 now. Pretty happy with that. 3-1 we should be okay. Good pen. Very far camera angle up. Goal for them and make things interesting again. Don't like this game. Fenerbahce doing enough to make things nervy. It's a poor clearance from Chavas. Oh my word. Football manager. What is that fucking highlight? Clearance to no one. Deflected cross in the middle of the air straight to his man in the 6-yard box. Yeah, sure. And yet again, I can't take Bakayoko off. Indoor scores. I'm now going to take him off because it shouldn't be offside. They've gone diamond. We're going to start time wasting. 3 shots, 3 on target, 2 goals. Makes no sense. I hate when games are like this. And here they come again. Zeno heads only as far as that. Need to get on that, Zeno. And no stupid bullshit touch. Thank Christ. This game should have been long over. Ball has to come out. Left back. Look, we got out, but the ball really should have gone that way about 10 times. Great ball to Dieng, and then Indoor left it. This game is not over. Good touch from Zeno. Eventually, we found the space out to the left back. Who would have thought? Who would have thought with the ball down the left-hand side then? Yeah. McKaylee hits the post. Unlucky. Do you reckon a double pivot with a deeper line playmaker and defender and a Regista would work with an advanced playmaker? It can work. Haven't really used too many Regista too much. Tempted, been thinking about it. Deeper line playmaker I don't use too much at all, to be fair as well. Really like ball winning midfielders, but that's just me. Mistake, McKaylee, wow, denied. Denied by Strakoza. That's a great save. We will say, though, this is probably all she wrote now. Last chance saloon. They would have to go on the break and score to make this nervous. Well, doesn't look like that's going to be the case right now as Alonso sweeps up. Finds Collie, you can whip one. Cleared away. As long as we win it now, which we don't. You never know if this highlight continues long enough. Good block, Billing. It should be all she wrote now. But there's no way that game deserved to be sweating. There's no way they deserve to score 2. But here we are. We win 4-2. We're through to the next round. All but secured. Arsenal won as well. We qualify for the round of 16. And we'll see you guys in just a second for the Arsenal game, where we're going to give it a big red crack against one of the favourites for the competition. Welcome back, YouTube. We've got Arsenal in London in the last game of the Europa League phase. We've already qualified for where we need to go. Us, Feyenoord and Arsenal, we've all played the same teams. And Feyenoord and Arsenal 7 apiece. They don't play each other, which I find odd. Somehow they managed to not draw each other, but draw the rest of the teams that were playing, which is weird. But yeah, Arsenal have won all those games. We've won all those games. The only game we lost is Feyenoord. So yeah, but on 18 points, already qualified, which is a great spot to be in. Pat on the back, this is a free hit. In terms of the game against Montpellier, slightly rotated, gave some debuts to a few people. Montpellier deserved to win this. They hit the post 4 times. 4 times. Arguably one of them was a big deflection that hit the post. But yeah, got lucky. Had to go pretty full strength and bring some people off the bench. And it didn't really change too much, to be fair. So, look, rotated because I think this is a big enough game that we should rotate for. Even though it's not a game that, should really matter too much. In terms of whatever's going to go on, I feel like Bertrand deserves a game here. Dieng's not played well and Bertrand's developing that well. I might give him the game. Other Dieng's out. Wenja Ford is going to be in and do that. Happy to be Sweden's under 21 captain, which is great. Important to note, our backup keeper, Desprez, for the first time, has decided that he wants to leave, which is not nice either. But look, it is what it is. Let's go in there. Let's go do it. As full strength as it comes, Hector Fort will play. I prefer him in the bigger games as a bit more experienced. But yeah, Schindler's for Zeno, Tosin, Munoz, Wenja Ford and Billing, Bakayoko Melbalai. Bertrand's going to get the minutes with Collie as well. And let's see how we go against Arsenal at the Emirates. And we are live on stream. Go follow the links down below. This is going to come out probably in the new year. So Happy New Year to everybody. That's how far back we are. Let's have a look at the Arsenal side. Ramsdale still Ramsdale. Tomiyasu. Gilla's moved here. William Saliba's still Saliba. He's unreal. He's Tyranny or Tyranny. Nico. Busas. Halimi is a Koskovian. Saka's Saka. Diego Moreira and Gabriel Jesus. So very good. Matt Turner on the bench. Martinelli not starting today. Ben White still here as well. 31. Yeah, they've got a good side. It's Arsenal. Of course they've got a good side. Look, let's just have a look where Arsenal are currently sitting. Currently sitting 4th. How Arsenal. But do have a couple points clear. Carlo Ancelotti's in charge. Saka's still the best player. Martin Odegaard I did not see there. Might be injured or being rested. But there we are. In terms of the recent schedule, actually have gone a little bit of a losing streak and then have been drawing a lot of games. So you never know. I expect Arsenal to beat us here. Let's be honest. But there we are. Tyranny is captain. I didn't see, and there is no Odegaard there. So interesting. All right, let's get into it. Away we go. We're going to be in the fluoro, and Arsenal are going to be in the Arsenal colours. Oh, well, we're not in the fluoro, actually. We've gone in the black with the fluoro stripe. Anyway, Zeno gets pressed. Out to Burke and Tosin. Great ball out there, Munoz. Looks for Collie first time. Probably had enough time to take a touch and move. Anyway, Saliba, Ramsdale and Gilla. We look to press. We're not going to probably win it against Arsenal too high. but would still like to see a squeeze. Saka can turn, and he does. He finds Halimi. He finds Diego Moreira looking for Saka. It's a pretty good ball. Munoz, poor. Not like Arsenal need any help, but they've got tons of help there, haven't they? A match-engine goal. That's the next thing they need a patch. Defenders running back to their face, facing their goal and taking a touch which falls behind him back to the striker, because it never happens in real life. That's an overhit ball that we should deal with, but apparently he just runs and just touches it to Saka. 1-0 down through the match engine, not through a fault of our own, which is what I would have preferred to have seen, is Arsenal actually rip me apart. Long throw. Munoz doesn't win. Wengerford thumps one away. Collie puts himself around but doesn't win it. They have dominated us here so far. And yet again, Arsenal probably proving that we're not ready for this. I do think, and it might be a little bit naive, that if Dosu started and we had Dieng instead of Wengerford, who's a bit more experienced, I think we could give him a game. Don't think we could win, but we could give him a game. Think throwing out a 16, 17-year-old at left wing back and left wing, and my next one's an 18-year-old that's not particularly, learnt the role. I've never seen Billing get caught on it. And, yeah, things are happening out there that not normally happen. At the moment, we're being quite pummeled. I'm tempted to go 5 at the back here second half and just try and absorb some pressure and hit on the break. Might be something we try and do. Munoz, Tossin, Wengerford, Billing. Looks for Bertrand, and it's a good ball. Bertrand's, look, he's developing. So let's see what he does. Look, he tried to put a ball in the box. I'm not going to complain, because it was the right thing. Billing, good tackle. Tossin now needs to find feet. Yet again, what's with centre-back stopping? This match engine tonight has been broken. It's been broken since the patch. It's meant to be fixed. I see more mistakes now with centre-backs. The glaring mistakes are they're missing headers with balls over the top. Now it's just bad touches and, no ability to make a pass because they just stop running out of nowhere. Bertrand tackle. Good tackle. We've been absolutely pummeled here. 1-0 down. Fresh the arms. Far from happy. We moved to 5 at the back. Bakayoko's going to come up front. Ibrahim Dieng will come in. Move Tossin into the middle of the 3. We're going to move to that, I think. Bakayoko, fair way out. Free kick. Hit the bar. Ramsdale got nowhere near that as well. First highlight. Ours in here in the 5 at the back. It's a sneaky system, this, because it's on the break. Like, we do exploit space if we find the space. We also need to try and block up this middle of the park that they are dominating quite clearly as well by getting more numbers, like Melba Lai dropping in a bit deeper. Here we go. Hector Fort now needs an... He wins the ball, he's clean and he's away, and then apparently he stops and then turns back into him as well when he wins it back. Sure. Clean gameplay. Is it so much to ask for? Yet again, if they score here, I'm going to cry foul for what just happened there with Hector Fort. They are going to score because that's a ball. Schindler, what a save. I haven't streamed 3 hours and on no sleep just to go and watch the match engine pummeling, not Arsenal. Arsenal have been good statistically, but they haven't really broke me down. All their highlights have been coming from match engine faults. Set piece, Munoz, backstick. Zeno hits the post and cleared away. We're that close to getting a leveler against Arsenal. Right. I'm going to go a bit more direct. Don't do that. Play for a set piece. Whip the ball in there. And there's a reason why we're whipping it in there. Because McKaylee's coming on. Right. As a target man. And Collie up top alongside. And we are going to go distribute it to the target man and get numbers buzzing around, I think. Bunch of forward. as well. As you can see, people just getting a bit unfit. Apparently Long Yellow's back. Apparently they must have got knocked out. I wouldn't even realised. So there you go. We'll do that as well. And Vinicius is going to bomb on as well with fresh legs too. Try and get up and down. We've rolled the dice. We've gone for it. Vinny drives. Still going the Brazilian. Billing putting numbers across the box. Whip it in there, my boy. Get it in there, Billing. Still going, Billing. Go for goal, Billing. Ramsdale's done bits. Wasn't for the world classness of Ramsdale, we probably just scored. Ramsdale scrambling for his life. Long Yellow really should have finished. We go on attacking. It's only 1-0. Could we find the most dramatic of levelers? Is there going to be a moment? Well, probably for Arsenal to make it 2-0 now. And it is. We hit the post and Ramsdale's put off a scrambling save on the goal line. Or else this game was 1-1. They're going to lose to Arsenal. They scored from a corner. It happens. That happens. I can live with them scoring from a corner. The match engine goal, the first one, cannot live with that. That is disgusting. But we lose 2-0. Arsenal, much the better side. Not going to stand here and say otherwise. But look, unlucky boys. We'll kick within it for a long time. And to be fair, if it wasn't for Ramsdale and net, we probably would have been 1-1. So there we are. Yet again, it's fallen to Long Yellow, that highlight, and you don't want it to fall to him. But look, I'm very happy with that. Feel like that was a great performance. And, well, with that, I'll see you next time. Next episode's going to be, well, the way it's shaping up, we've got PSG in a few games' time. That game could be around a Europa League game, but secondly, that game, I don't want to utter the words because I've mentioned title fight last year and the next minute we're lucky to finish in Europe, or in the Europa League, I should say. If we win that game for the first time, we beat PSG for the first time, we're in this fight. And that's a scary thing to think about. But I'll see you then. Thank you and goodbye.